Witamy Was w drugim odcinku. Przyjechaliśmy tutaj, aby zobaczyć, jak dokładnie wygląda ten proces wypalania kawy. Także spotkamy zaraz Fabrizio. Przyjechał takim oto śmiesznym samochodem, więc idziemy na przywitanie i mamy nadzieję, że opowie nam, jak się kawę wypala. Oh, Fabrizio, what a nice car!
Hi.
Beautiful car. Still
Thank
running?
Still running. You know, we are a traditional roasting company and this is tradition.
Yes.
So Sebastian, welcome. Welcome back.
Yes, we would like to see how we roast the coffee actually. So we learned a lot last time. What is the coffee and how do we prepare it and what types of coffee you have? But maybe if you have some time, if you could show us how do we roast it?
I think you need a little summarizing now. So what we learned last time, we can see coffee bags, we can
Yes.
see some coffee beans, and as I told you last time, we will do this way. Coffee, we are used to see it brown, but really coffee, it's this color. This is an Arabica from Central America, and this is what we call greenish color.
Uh-huh.
And if you try, smell it,
Not so much.
not so much, you can taste it, you can try to break it.
I guess it's hard. We learned
Yeah.
on the last time.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is not possible to break, so let's throw it away. For this, it's important to roast it, to get the aromas and to have the fragility that will allow us to grind it
mhm.
and to make it in powder and adding water to brew it as a complete cup of coffee. So Sebastian, I think that now the right thing is to check how do we roast.
Yes.
This is the bag of Brazilian coffee that we have emptied in our roasting machine. Now follow me, take care, hot and hard surfaces are around you.
Okay.
So here we are. This is the heart of our company.
Yes.
This is the roasting machine where we transform by a thermical process our coffee.
Mhm.
What we will see is first of all the physical transformations. Physical transformations are, for instance, the color from green to brown, the size. You will notice that the bean will be much bigger because it breaks the cellar walls, so it becomes bigger, and absolutely the weight. It loses about 20% of weight.
Uh-huh. Interesting.
Yeah. So this is a machine. It's very simple, elemental, I could say. There is an oven, and this oven is just revolving, and inside the oven you have some metal part that makes all and every bean moving. Every bean has to receive the right and the same amount of temperature.
Uh-huh.
So we have something like 120 kilos, 140 kilos of coffee coming inside.
So like 2-3 bags.
Two bags.
Two bags.
Bags of 60 minimum, or Central American bags of 69 kilos, 150 libra, pounds, or the Colombia, they have 70 kilos. So 140 is if you have 2 bags of Colombia coffee. What I have to point out is that we spoke about blends, but we are not roasting blends. We are roasting separately each coffee
Why?
because each coffee has a proper way to be roasted, because we want to take the optimum of every coffee. So we roast between 16 and 19 minutes. That means that some coffees need to be roasted at 16, others at 17, others at 19. But if we put all together before and roast at 17 and a half,
Mhm.
for some of them it will be too much, and for some of them it will be too little. So we prefer to separately roast our coffee. And now here you will see that we are roasting a Brazilian coffee, around 17 minutes. What you will see now and what we are looking at, it's the checkings at the end of the process.
Mhm.
No? Ricardo, it's looking for the proper color of coffee.
Mhm.
It's smelling the coffee for the right aroma, and it's listening also for the first pops, for the
Uh-huh.
first cracks. It's similar to what happens to corn.
Really?
It explodes on high temperature, and you have popcorn,
Mhm.
but it's, I say, exploding. Coffee is not exploding. Coffee is cracking and is becoming bigger, and this makes a noise.
Uh-huh.
We are roasting for espresso use. So we are waiting, listening for the second crack. We say that the coffee is singing, and when
Uh-huh.
it sings for the second time, we release it. It's just human control on one side and technical control on the other side. It's very helpful to him also to check time and temperature. And he will decide the right time and the right temperature to make the coffee exit. As you see up there on the small window,
Uh-huh.
you see the original color.
Yeah, there, the green
The
one.
green coffee is still waiting for the next roasting. Here on that window, you see the brown dark color of coffee that is nearly to be ready.
Yeah, it looks already like a coffee bought in bag.
And you notice the light. This light is always on,
Uh-huh.
and it's always the same. So at any time, in any day, he can check and be reliable on the color that we can see.
Uh-huh.
Now he will make the coffee exit. The coffee will come out at 160, 150 degrees
Here.
here inside, and this is the cooling container.
Mhm.
If we just leave the coffee staying there, this high temperature will make the coffee go on cooking, go on with transformation. So we have to stop it by cooling, and we are cooling by air.
Mhm.
So you will see, we will move the coffee, and you will not see that we are taking away the hot air and changing with the air that surrounds us, the room temperature, I would say.
Mhm.
And this is a process that works in about 6 to 5 minutes, more or less.
Oh, we see that it's already started.
We are ready, and the coffee is out. This is the point that we think this type of coffee gives you the best profile to be combined with other coffees in a blend for espresso.
Uh-huh.
This is our aim, or as I say, our project.
Mhm.
So now you will cool it by air, but here we can speak also about philosophy. As I said, we are roasting before and blending later. This is a philosophy, because some roasting companies, they blend before
Mhm.
and roast all together. Our philosophy is the philosophy of the barbecue. You don't put all the meats together at same time on the barbecue,
Yes.
because some meats need more, some meats need less temperature and less time.
Mhm.
This is what we are doing with coffee. So our one is the barbecue philosophy.
Okay.
Other companies, they just have the minestrone, the vegetable soup philosophy.
Yes.
They put all together and they warm it and transform it thermically all together.
Very nice comparison.
Here you have another philosophy.
Uh-huh.
You can cool it slowly by air, as we do,
Yes.
because I believe the coffee beans already had a big temperature shock,
Yes.
because they arrive at 210, 220 degrees Celsius. and they don't need another temperature shock, but mildly in some minutes the temperature will go down by air.
How long does it take?
About 5 minutes. But other companies, they believe that it's much better to go fast down with this temperature, so they spray water. They spray, they not don't wash, they just spray water that cools coffee much faster. And in 15-20 seconds, the coffee is cool.
So they can save some time, for example.
They save a lot of time. But what we believe is that humidity, moisture, it's negative for coffee. So we prefer to give it a mild and not wet cooling process. As you see, the color has changed.
Yes.
But also the size has changed. It's much more fragile because you can break it with your fingers. And the weight, you can notice that this is something like you need 50 beans for 7 grams dose of espresso. Mathematics says that each bean has 0.14 grams of weight. After the cooling, we have another check, another quality check. This is, we look for foreign materials.
Yes.
It may happen that we have some small rock or a piece of wood or something. So what we do is take up this silos, the coffee, per specific weight. We said that the coffee bean is very light. Everything that weighs more than a coffee bean will stay down. Is something that it may be between your beans. No? This is something that we collected in some years. What you can have is small rocks, wooden parts, some metals, and so on. So the smallest stone that you can see here, if it goes in a grinder, it can ruin the grinder, stop the knife, and the engine of the grinder can burn. Before we said that the coffee sinks, and now we can see that the coffee dances. We have different quality checks and quality controls, and now one of them, as you see, Ricardo is taking a sample from the coffee that he has just roasted, and he will check the color by an electronic device. No? Why is this important? He knows already that he roasted well, but he has to demonstrate it. And this machine is working on infrared lights. The infrared light on the coffee ground in powder will give me a number. And this number will assure him that he roasted well the coffee, because the number will be in a very small range. So it's not possible to make this checking on beans because they reflect the ray in different ways, and they are not reliable. But when I have the coffee ground, this powder will be put on this small manual machine, and we will make a panel of coffee. That's it. This will reflect the ray without mistakes. So as you see, we have a number already. The number is 129. I know that this coffee must be roasted between 125 and 130. So we are inside the range that we need to have a good result. Now the coffee is roasted. Yes. But it's just part of the process. Because the coffee had, as I said before, a very high temperature shock, and we want this coffee to rest. Some of them will rest for 36 hours, 48 hours. Some of them will rest for more. And where are they resting? They are resting in these big silos. There are 12 chambers for 12 different coffees. Each chamber is 1 ton. So here we can have till 12 tons of coffee resting, ready to be mixed,
Okay,
to be
that's a lot.
blended. That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot. You will notice some of them are not full, some of them are half full. It depends on how much coffee do you need to make your blends in the next days.
Understood.
I also, because we want always to offer coffee that's freshly roasted. The more time coffee stays, the more aroma coffee will lose. Because this is very nice that when the coffee is roasted, it spreads aroma. Wow, wonderful. But on the other side, this coffee is losing its aroma. And my aim is that you receive all the aroma when you drink your coffee in your cup. So the right resting time, and then we just call the different coffees as different ingredients. We had a coffee with 7 different types of coffee in its blend. So one was 32%, the other one 5%, the other one 15%, and so on till the 100%. When I receive the single coffees, one after the other, I have to mix it. This is the mixer. This is the blending machine. It's a very simple machine. We can blend 200 kilos of coffee here. It revolves 36 times per minute, and in 6 minutes it will give me the right blend. When the coffee is blended, we just call it through these tubes, through these pipes, up to the serving silos. We have 2 silos, 300 kilos each, that are above the packaging machine. And from there, we call 1 kilo, 1 kilo, 1 kilo, 1 kilo, and we have the packaging prepared to go to the market. Now that you have learned the whole process, let me see if you have learned how to brew a good cup of espresso. Please.
I have to do it.
Yes, you have. You have to remember all the 4 M's, and let's see your result.
First one was a blend.
First one was the blend. So you
we
check
already have it.
if you have enough coffee to prepare a cup.
We need to have 7 grams, what I learned. But I don't know if this, what we have in the machine, is enough. How do I know it? Should I put a little more?
You should try. You should try if you have enough. Trying a dose.
Okay,
So
and this I have to do like this. Good.
strongly. Okay.
Okay. Then I put it there. There. Like
Put
this.
it down.
Down there.
Yeah. And check the button. You go. There is a button.
Yeah, I see, but it is not working. That's it. No, I have to wait till the time is gone.
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
Now you have to press it
So press it is
with the tamper.
yeah.
Not this way because you have no support. You need to find a support. Sorry. This would be better.
And
the pressure should be with the strength of about 20 kilos. But I think that's enough, you said. Good.
Looking good. This I put here.
Flash a little bit of water before.
Yes. Water
with
flash.
this button. Tack, tack. Good.
Okay, but before I do it, the second M was grinding.
You already had it ground.
The third M was mano.
Machine.
And machine.
And the fourth was the mano. But your coffee is waiting.
Is waiting.
Press the button.
I have to put the cup.
Press the button.
Which?
And put the cup. You see, you have a couple of seconds where the water just goes over the coffee. And after 2-3 seconds, it starts to come. So what we need now is approximately half of the cup. You
So
can
this-
already stop it, and this is a proper espresso. Check the crema. Very well. You have this kind of stripes that declares that you made just a good espresso. My
Oh.
compliments.
Thank you. I succeeded. So in the gift box, what we selected for you, which you can win, it's this gift box. You have one mocha there, and we should know how we should prepare a mocha.
Yes, Sebastian, because if you know how to prepare coffee on espresso, that doesn't mean that you know to prepare any coffee. So this is the mocha system. The mocha system is a very simple device that you put on heating, on flame or on electric heating or something like that. And basically you have three parts. This is the upper one that will receive the liquid coffee, and from this part you will pour it to your cup. This is the filter where you will put your ground coffee. But
Mhm.
pay attention, it must be ground for mocha,
Mhm.
not too thin, not too thick. And here is the part where you will put water. And the water level should be half of this valve here.
Mhm.
So put the water, better if warm water. Put your coffee here, ground coffee, not pressed,
Not pressed.
not pressed, because you get the pressure that you need from the machine. Here is another filter, and the coffee will first of all receive water, and then the liquid coffee will go up here through the holes.
Mhm.
And from the beginning to the end, it will last some minutes. So we are not speaking of seconds right now. And this is the most common Italian preparation at home.
Mhm. Because it does not require any big machine. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's easy.
and the traditional way. And it has kind of a rituality.
Mhm.
So in the morning, you take some spoons of your favorite ground coffee, you put some water before, you close it, you put on flame. Flame just for this part, not a big flame, because a big flame could give temperature and warm also this upper part.
Ah.
And if this upper part is hot, the coffee coming up, it's greasy of the aromas of the etheric oils of aromas. So if it's too warm, it would fry, and you wouldn't like fried coffee at all.
Understood. Thank you. The question you said there has to be the coffee which is specially grinded. I guess this one, what we have there, is
Yes,
already prepared for mocha.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. So this kind of a gift you can win with us. Take a look in the description of our video how you can get the gift from Trieste.
The gift from Trieste. Thank you very much.
Thank you. See you next time.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.